Hi guys to everyone. Today I am with my moon sister and an amazing musician and as well healer, I like to say it. So I want to ask first of all, Runahild, how are you? I s-
Yes, I'm doing great, thank you.
it's
Enjoying the spring and working with plants and
uh,
being outside a lot.
that's
And you?
beautiful. I'm really good and I'm really happy to speak with you after 1 year,
Yeah,
basically. So
yes.
yeah, and a lot of things I think changed in 1 year, but your house is always beautiful as I can see.
Thank you.
So beautiful. And I want to just to, just for the people that, of course, people, we already had an interview before. For people who doesn't know, they can check and see to dig more in your music, because in this interview we're gonna to talk more about your last project and other aspect of your, you can say, of your art as well. But I would like to ask you first of all, I mean, what has changed in all this year since the last time we spoke?
Well, a lot of I've been going through a lot of inward personal work, working with personal traumas and
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, and deepening yeah, my connection or my reconnection to myself and my own understanding of the power of singing and power of drumming and music
Oh,
and yeah, at least music wise and in life lot is happening here, like more and more living self-sufficient and growing more food and yeah,
yeah.
trying to live more and more of great and yeah,
Yeah, I
of
understand.
nature.
It has been like a tough year for you as well, like about awakening your inner self and working on healing. And yeah, I can relate a lot to that. To it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why one things that I found really helpful for me is your last work, Wounded Healer, because it's
Mm.
like like playing like a wounded healer. So basically it's like you're a healer itself but as well wounded. So
Yeah,
I would like to speak
exactly.
about a little bit about this your last work, because for me it helped me a lot to heal my and still healing my trauma, because I use it daily, you can say, for
Mm.
practicing yoga, meditation.
Mm.
So for me that
Exactly.
I'm really familiar with your music, and especially with this type of practice, but I know how to work with that and I know what you meant. But for people that, of course, doesn't have a lot of familiarity with spirituality or mindfulness or meditation, just let's
Mm.
go a little deeper speaking about the album itself. First of all, the choosing of the title, Wounded Healer.
Yeah, and that's exactly that, to have both the wounded side of ourselves, which to me also becomes a doorway to the healing. Like
Yeah,
if you go where the wound is, there is also the gift of healing. Like, and holding space for your own darkness, for your own shadows,
yeah,
for what hurts inside you. Um, that can be transformed into light and it's my one of my wounds is definitely socializing and and
mine too.
the more I hold space for it and the more I work with it, and the more it becomes a gift of connecting with other people and yeah, and sharing our gifts with
Yeah,
each other. And but it's an album about not only just about healing your own traumas, but also generational traumas, so the traumas you
yeah,
inherit from your parents, grandparents, and family.
yeah,
Because the more I worked on my trauma, and the more I realized that it's not just mine, but it's
exactly.
what my family come with, and
I
some of my survival mechanism are not mine, that they are theirs, and I have to
Are you
kind of
sure we
erase and
didn't?
transform
Are you
it.
sure that we didn't have the same family? Maybe we are not born from the same family. The
I think
same
we are really
exactly.
many like this.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that traumas came from the beginning. Of course, is not parents' fault sometimes. It's just like happens. But it
Yeah,
starts from when
exactly.
you got born. Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah,
so
because it's yeah.
yeah, go
It's
on,
not
go on.
it's not either our parents' fault because they also have been traumatized, and then your grandparents who also have been traumatized.
Yeah,
And at some point, somebody has to say, now we have to work with healing and
exactly.
go onward, and not just
So
yeah.
so Wounded Dealer is about, of course, like you can say, a sort of shadows work, but at the same time going through the shadow works and to the light work itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's both of them. I don't think I don't think we can separate them. Both the
Yeah,
darkness and the light are important, and if you just go only for one, then you're gonna miss the balance of the
unbalanced.
other.
Yeah, of
So
course, exactly. Yeah, but of course, another topic that you uh, uh, speak about in your album is the sacred feminine energy, which is
yeah.
something beautiful itself. So how, in your own words, how would you like to explain? Because of course, a lot of people doesn't know much about that. How do you like to explain this sacred feminine energy to the other woman outside, for example?
Yeah, but first of all, I think that for me, sacred feminine is not about just about women, but it's about an energy itself, which
Okay.
is both into men and women. Because I don't see it that there is like black and white, man, woman,
Yeah.
masculinity, femininity, such as like a woman is feminine and a man is masculine. We are a mix of both, and each of us is a little bit of each on different
Yeah.
levels. And what to me represents sacred feminine is all that has to do with nurture, and all that has to do to rest, to be emotional, to be vulnerable, to be intuitive, instinctive. And again, it can be both a man having this
Side.
some
Yeah.
of its values, and a woman having some of these values. But it's been hunted down, not just
Yeah.
within us as women, but especially because we women represent it. So it's kind of like, well.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
this is other values that have been taken, that have like, because if you see in the world, everything is about productivity, efficiency,
Exactly.
work, always more. But there is no time for rest. There is no time for darkness, for holding
Yeah.
space for emotions, and for being vulnerable. And
Exactly. For recognize and
yeah,
accept them and live through that and then let it go. Because otherwise they'll
yeah.
stay inside of you and they grows and grows, and then you have
Mhm.
trauma, you have anxiety, you have all these things that doesn't allow you to be like completely, like I can say, connected to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why sometimes you need to say, like, I need to stop for a moment, to
Yeah,
take time for me, even just be in solitude or loneliness, whatever, just to speak with your own self. So
absolutely.
like you say, to face your inner self. Could be your inner demons, your inner, I don't know, anything. Could be even just that you don't have maybe inner demons, but you have just
Mm,
positive vibes, and which is beautiful. Like for who have that. But I think
mm.
a lot of us has to face inner demons. That's why I
Yeah,
will always recommend, and I'll still recommend still today, your work to people that has to deal with all these traumas itself. Because if we're gonna to dig inside each song, it's really like a journey.
mm.
Start with
It,
really
yeah,
that the first piece is so peaceful, and I feel so, when I listen, it was like I was like laying. I felt like laying on a river, like the water
wow,
flowing me down. It's like
yeah,
for me, it was like a meditation for visualization. So for me, that I would recommend that the first song for for meditating, which is especially for the visualization itself, because it's
mm.
helpful. But of course,
Yeah.
you speak as well about another song that released is Sacred Lunar Blood.
Mm.
So, and of course, the moon has an influence
Yes,
on your music. So, I want to ask you
absolutely.
how. So, I did already this question, but I like to speak about it. Thank you.
Well, I like to follow the rhythm of the moon, and
Okay.
I like to think that at the new moon you can think of an intention, something you start as
Okay.
work, and
Yeah.
then to the full moon you kind of like, yeah, work on that intention, and it comes to the full bloom of it, and then you get from the full moon to the new moon, a kind of like harvest or a consequence.
Okay.
Yeah, time.
Okay.
And every moon has its own
For sure.
I would say energy, or like whatever happens in your life. And if I don't personally, it works quite great to work with the moon, like with
Yeah.
self work, like getting
Yeah. I agree.
yeah
We had
more
yesterday, 2 nights ago, we had a huge eclipse and full moon
yes,
as well.
exactly.
It was super powerful. That one was
That's
good for
that's like,
releasing.
yes,
Yeah,
it's wonderful with interview right in the same moment. It's
we choose the perfect timing. We choose the perfect time. Releasing and we're starting to speak about that. It's perfect. It's a new cycle because they say that it's gonna be like a huge period of transformation for each one of us. This with this eclipse and this new moon is gonna be a huge power, a huge moment of transformation as well for certain as well zodiac sign as well. For example, I am a Scorpio, so it will be a huge transformation for me. So,
yeah. If you have some Scorpio, then yes, absolutely.
my sun moon, yes, my sun moon.
Yeah.
And yours is yours is
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Yeah, so I have a lot of in my channel zodiacs, whatever cases. I have a lot of Sagittarius, especially because of the traveling side.
Okay.
Of
I have a lot of Scorpio.
Yeah. I told you we got someone put us when we were born. That's a mess. It's just it's not an interview. We're just talking. No, but of course, coming back to the album, it's a beautiful album, of course. And
thank you.
Of course, you see some different from the Wounded Healer from your previous work. I mean, how could be? I mean, of course, maybe it's different, but how would you like to put in words the difference between Sacral Wounded Healer from your previous work? What is the main difference?
You mean from Sacred Feminine, the previous one?
Yeah.
Well, they actually, that's interesting because they are not quite different at all. It's because the songs that I play on Sacred Feminine, they have the new version on Wounded Healer. But there was a start of the journey of this healing journey, and the first step for me was to heal my femininity, because that's something that because of sexual abuse and a lot of this kind of stories, that's an energy that I really repressed inside myself, and I kind of embraced the masculine energy instead. And that was the first step of starting to heal and reclaim my own energy and my own power, because within femininity is incredibly a lot of power that
exactly.
a lot of healing power and simply raw energy. And with Wounded Healer, then it kind of, I thought I was kind of done with the journey with Sacred Feminine, but it just kept going on and on. I made song and it's like, it's still the same energy I'm working with. So in the end, I just made it.
So if because usually I could ask you to musicians, to people that I interview, like which song you would recommend. But I think in this case, everyone that is interested in your music should listen all your music, because it's a journey, like to the beginning to the last.
Yeah, it definitely is. It will be impossible for me to pick something, because it's like I guess, I mean, like different songs will talk differently to different people. It's been different energies all along, but it's still there is still a red thread that's weaves it all together. So
but apart, of course, you released Wounded Healer not so long ago, but you're still currently working on something else, like you're producing some new music or some.
I'm working on one new song that I've been working on for like 2 months now, but I'm also taking since the release of the album, I've also taken a good break, and just like, okay, now sometimes it's good to get doing something else than music, and just be in nature, just be in the present, just enjoy
Yeah, like
everyday life, and just like kind of recenter and let one thing go, and kind of like just okay, now it's out, now it's one
yes,
journey.
yes.
Yeah.
When journey is not.
So yeah, so
So
it's a bit of a mix, like working with music when I want to, but not stressing with it, and yeah,
exactly. Just like let's like do something. Then when you feel maybe it's too much, do something
yeah,
else to
exactly,
just
yeah,
have a sort of balance. Yeah, of course.
yeah, it's important, yeah.
Of course, and of course, I have to ask you today about the influence because, of course, your music is really like we said, we spoke in the previous interview, is ethereal. So I can say that it doesn't have. Of course, it could have like musical influences, but knowing you have a lot of nature's influences. So, what influence your music mainly?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Um, wow. Music wise, it would be hard to pinpoint
Yeah, of
because
course.
I'm listening to really a lot of different style of music, and that's also a part of I don't want to get into one genre of
Yeah,
music, so I
yeah,
just
yeah.
anything that really talks to me, then it's like so anything can somehow influence me with whether I know it or not, kind of like unconsciously. But would I don't know. I think the real influence would be for me when I start playing a drum and singing
Yeah,
improvisation. Then I feel sometimes I simply see how it connects me to the whole of humanity, or like to other tribes or to tribes in the
yeah.
past who used the drum and sing.
Yeah,
So
so we can say that the drum itself, the percussion, it's a huge influences for your music. Like as well, like you play, it's
yeah,
like a big part on Runahild
yeah,
music.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, the work, the energy work, and the time I am in drum circles with other people, or the moment when you share something, when you simply get this tribal feeling and this connection feeling.
yeah,
That we
yeah.
kind of have lost here in our society, kind of like we have lost this tribal community where we really are together, not just
Exactly.
competitive, but like with each other. So
Exactly.
that's a huge inspiration to
Yeah, but it's beautiful because that's exactly what I hope to find out, because here it's not possible for me to find out because all the people that I knew and loved, for some reason, they just moved out, go away. So basically I'm looking for my, this, I don't want to say tribe, but it's a sort of like family tribe where you can share the people that share the same views of life that you have.
Exactly. Yeah.
But not that you force to someone, for example, I'm gonna take a friend of mine to the mountains, and they just don't understand what you're doing. Just you're putting the hands on the water, or you're just sitting with the feet on the barefoot, walking barefoot, and maybe you are meditating. They just don't realize what you're doing, because there is this not we can say no connection. Can be, of course, a good journey with a friend, of course, but sometimes you have to do it with someone, or alone, or with someone that really understands what you're doing, because maybe he's doing the same things in another part of the world, but maybe he's doing the same things. That's why it's really hard to do. That's why we will see this summer, like I told you.
Yes,
we do some meditation together. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. But of course, I said that it's not, you not only have the passion of the music I was saying before, as well, because the video clips that you made are beautiful, because there are a lot of beautiful views and as well pictures. So I think there are some other passions about Runahild that we should know.
Sorry, what
like
did you say?
Other passions you have apart music itself.
Okay. Well, it's definitely as music is definitely the biggest kind of like really everything kind of weaves itself in my life around it. But then there is a lot of as any kind of art or any kind of that becomes creativity, whether it's work with your hands or if or work in the garden or being in nature or plants or medicinal herbs or medicinal anything.
We should we should work together as naturopaths and people just go to village like the old vulva and old people, not people. So that's a personal question. There is some particular herbs, I mean, medicinal herbs that you like to take care most. This is just a personal question because I'm curious.
It's very seasonal. So sometimes I have a bit more connection to like some. Yeah, it's now it's springtime. So and it's any of the new greens that come out.
Yeah.
Now I kind of like taking the spots, and then when the autumn comes, it's the other harvesting plants, and then I am also a little bit interested into medicine mushrooms and especially and so I would say if there should be a medicine, I would actually pick a medicine and mushroom rather than a plant, because that's what I have most experience with. So
because right now there is a sort of a awakening about mushroom medicine and as well like the ayahuasca, I think it's called, like
but that's more like in the Amazon.
But they're speaking as well about the mushroom medicine because it's not well talked about in Europe about that.
No.
That's why a lot of people, I see as well, a lot of academic school are trying to bring this awareness because it's really helpful, like the plants itself, because everything that the nature gives us is actually a tool. But I always say that you take from nature, but you have to give to nature itself. So if you take this, you have to give nature itself something. So, I mean, you give with your music to the nature itself. So, I mean, you're basically giving a gift. And like I told you, like you and Shad are the two, and the two pillars of healing that everyone should have. Like, so just make an advertisement for any naturopath out there. Just buy Wounded Healer and Blotta from Shad and Runahild and keep in your study, in your office.
That's really nice.
It's really seriously, it's really helpful because sometimes when people have session, even for meditation, they will use music and something, but using actually something that is really at a study behind. So like your word, like Wounded Healer, it has a journey itself. So it's made with spirituality and a journey. Yeah. It's more helpful than some random music taken from some website, maybe like so because it's more like a true tool. So it's a really powerful. So that I will always be thankful to you and Michelle for that. I will always. But of course, speaking about gigs, just coming back about music, did you have something planned about some performing live in the next month?
Yeah, I have one concert in Denmark in July, and it's a festival called Gathering of the Tribes. It's from the 5th to 10th July. And then there is Midgardblut, and that's it for me. It's good enough for this summer.
It's beautiful. No, it's beautiful. So I'm gonna see live. It's amazing. I'm gonna be there with the camera and video. So yes, that's really amazing. And of course, with your own music, of course, like we said, you bring a lot of spirituality itself. Out there right now, there are people that are seeking for awakening and spirituality. You being such I want to say like a culture, someone that is really good to know, a healer itself. What kind of message would you like to say to these people that are seeking for spirituality, and a good approach for them? How could it be?
Yeah, I would definitely be present in the moment, and that, I think that's kind of the way. Of course, for me, it can't be disconnected. It has to be. It is with nature, and I think that's in nature. But we have to also remember that we are nature. We are not like humans, and then there's nature. We have nature. We have the universe inside us, and I think if we can try to remember, because it's simply something we cannot forget. We are a part of the universe. Yeah. We are made of the same stuff of the universe, and we are made of the same stuff that everything else is made of. So we are never separated from spirituality. Yes. If you first think there is something spiritual, then you are that spiritual energy.
No, I agree completely with you, because that's what I always say to the people, that we belong to the nature itself. Earth belongs to the cosmos itself. So basically, we are all unique things. There's
Exactly,
not like human, animals. We are all belong to the same things.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, there is no separation.
Yeah, we saw a deer or a bird. They are like us. There's no difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, so that's amazing. I like to speak with you because we share the same. So just before the time is going to end, just a message to your fan, because of course there are a lot outside, and I know because I already met people who asking me, what about Runahild, the interview? And I said, he's arriving the way, don't worry. Yeah, I'm converting to Runahild cult. I started a cult of Runahild in south of Italy.
Nice. Yeah.
So we just want to send a message to everyone before ending the interview.
Well, it's I can't quite put it into words how thankful I am for the words I receive from people, for the music I share. It goes beyond being thankful, because and I'm really happy that the music, I first of all write it for my own healing journey, but when I share it, it's really amazing is if it can help other people, and if it can bring them, just like music has done for me in the past before I made music myself, and I had other artists, and and it helped me see a light in the world when you're just thinking what the points. I mean, it's sometimes it's hard to still see the light in the world. Sometimes it's hard to keep hope when you see what's happening out there. I mean, between the wars that are just, you don't even know why there is still that we're still doing stuff like that. But I mean, between the wars and everything we're doing to nature and ourselves, and but there is always some kind of there is always hope, and that's what we kind of have. And I'm happy if if the music I share can somehow bring that into people's life.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's always I know, and I say for everyone is listening, it's true. I've been through a lot, and Runahild music really put me like on track, like releasing. It's like a releasing journey, like going through and then a releasing journey. So just trust about Runahild, the music, because it's true. I was the first one in my life that said all the time, no, I have to go to the therapy and do this and do that. But then when you start to work with yourself, you start to know yourself, you start to understand yourself, music and the nature and everything surrounding you. It's like you heal by yourself, because our body, even chemical, is made, biological, is programmed to heal. So as well, I think the soul itself, because like we're saying, it's even our body, the flesh is connected with the nature. So everything is like death and born, like the nature. So it's everything, like the seasons. It's a circle. Yeah,
exactly.
So I want to say thank you, Rùnahild, really. And for us, we will see this summer, of course, and we will talk in here and there. And for the other people, just take a look to Rùnahild and really follow her. And we will never disappoint, that's for sure. It's in 1 year that I'm here and doing again another interview. Probably we will do one live, that's for sure. Being together would be amazing.
Absolutely.
With maybe moon close by, like a river and a moon close by, would be the perfect interview. Like a fire, the moon, and the interview would be perfect. So thank you so much, and let's see the summer then. Thank you still so much, Rùnahild. It's really a pleasure.
Likewise, thank you.
It's like a meditation, this interview, more than an interview itself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.